Welcome to this GiftWorks video. In this video, I'm going to talk all about file management for GiftWorks Anywhere, and then I'm also going to talk about importing and exporting files with GiftWorks Anywhere as well. So we're going to start by looking at the File Explorer for GiftWorks and understand better how managing your files with GiftWorks Anywhere works. And then we'll move into understanding how to import files into GiftWorks and then how to get export files out of GiftWorks. And they're all sort of related in your managing files as it relates to your local computer and GiftWorks Anywhere. So let's get started. Now I've started up my GiftWorks Anywhere, and you'll see under the Citrix Receiver, which is the tool that manages my GiftWorks Anywhere connections, that I have both a File Explorer for GiftWorks and GiftWorks. Now you may have a different kind of Citrix Receiver or Citrix Client software they call it, but either way you're going to have a File Explorer available. So what I'm going to do is get started by clicking on my File Explorer, and it's going to start up my File Explorer for GiftWorks, and I'll see it here. It's a pretty traditional Windows File Explorer. So if you're familiar with Windows and the File Explorer, this will be pretty familiar. But if you're not, if you're using a Mac or some other sort of device, then this might take a little bit to get accustomed to. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a number of locations, and then in this bigger area in the middle, you're going to see the files that are located there, the files and folders that are located there. And under your computer, you're going to see a number of different drives, and we call these drives or storage locations. You're going to see a G drive, otherwise known as a group drive, and an H drive, otherwise known as a home drive, and then you're going to see some other drives as well. For those of you who might be using QuickBooks on GiftWorks Anywhere, you may also see a Q drive. And so if you see a Q drive, just know that's because you're using QuickBooks. If you don't see a Q drive, do not worry about that. Before I go any further, let me just quickly stop and help you to understand the mentality or the paradigm behind what you're looking at here. You're looking at right now a File Explorer for the GiftWorks Anywhere servers, meaning these locations, this G drive and this H drive are not on your own computer. For people with PCs, you're more familiar with lettering as it relates to your drives, but either way, you're not looking at the drive letters that are, or the storage locations on your own computer. You're actually looking at the storage locations on the GiftWorks Anywhere servers. So when you see this G drive, which is the group drive, this is a drive that is shared between you and other users within your organization. This is a drive that's located on the GiftWorks Anywhere servers, and like I said, is available for all the users within your organization. This H drive is your home drive. For all the users within your organization, you will each have your own H drive, which means the H drive that I'm looking at and the contents of that are related to me. Another user within my organization will have an H drive as well, and that'll be the files for them. So these are my personal files. These are the shared files with all the people of my organization. And remember, these are not located on your local computer. If I were to bring up, for PC users, you're more familiar with my computer, you'll notice that I have this local disk C and this DVD, which is my D drive, and I also have a network drive. Keep in mind, that's what's on my local computer, but on the GiftWorks Anywhere File Explorer, I see that I have the G drive and the H drive, but then I do also see this D drive this is the name of my laptop computer that I'm using, and I also have a C drive. These are what's called virtual mapped drives. These are drives that, even though they appear on the GiftWorks Anywhere server, what they are is, this is your pathway back to your own computer. Now I know that can be a little bit confusing. Let me just say that again. These are what's called virtual drives. They do not exist on GiftWorks Anywhere. These are actually the pathway, the virtual map back to your own, in this case, your local disk. So you'll see where it says local disk C on this laptop name. What this is doing is providing a pathway for you to get files from the GiftWorks Anywhere drives or file storage locations back to your own computer. And we're going to do that in just a second. But I want you to understand generally what you're looking at. You're looking at GiftWorks Anywhere file storage locations, and then you're also looking at virtual locations, which are the connection back to your own computer. So let's begin to work with this a little bit. And you'll notice, and let me go back to my G drive. Let's start there. I mentioned this is the group drive. So this is the drive that is shared between all the users within your organization. One of the things that you're going to typically find here is your GDS file, your GiftWorks database storage file. It's the database file that contains all your donor and donation information. Using this file explorer here, you can move files, you can right-click, and you can create new folder. So I'm going to create a new folder, and I'll just call this our organization information. So you can have a folder and you can have files in there and things like that. Keep in mind, once your GDS file is created here, which you do this through GiftWorks, you get started with GiftWorks and create a file here. Actually, why don't I do that really quickly? And I'm just going to, give me 1 second. Let me start this up if I could. So I'm just going to start up GiftWorks Anywhere. Let me start up GiftWorks Anywhere. I'm going to keep this open in the background so you'll be able to see it. Keep this open here. Let GiftWorks Anywhere start up. Give it a second. Here we go. So you'll see it started right here, GiftWorks Anywhere. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new database. And I'm going to put in my name, and I'm just going to call this my test GiftWorks. And you'll notice it's being stored on the G drive. If I wanted to change that, I could just click here and I'd see the same drive letters, G, H, C, and D. Remember, those are the virtual. You do not want to create you don't want to, through GiftWorks, you don't want to be storing anything on these in terms of you don't want to put your GiftWorks database file here. Typically within GiftWorks, you would not want to use these local disk or the CD-ROM drive, because these are virtual maps. Through GiftWorks, you wouldn't want to do that. You would only want to use these through this File Explorer application, and I'll show you more about that in a couple minutes. So right now I'm going to create this under the Our Organization Information folder. You'll see it's going to store this there. I'm going to click on Next, and great, it's completed. It's created my GiftWorks database. That's how you would create a brand new GiftWorks database. Now if I go back here, I'm back in our File Explorer. If I click on Our Organization Information, I'm going to see this test giftworks.gds file. That's now my GiftWorks database file. Remember, if you have multiple users within your organization that are using GiftWorks Anywhere, you're all going to point to this G drive. Keep in mind that if you have another user using GiftWorks Anywhere, and the first user had created this GiftWorks database file, then the second user is going to want to start up GiftWorks Anywhere, come under here, not click on create a new one because a new one's already been created by a different user. They're going to simply want to say select an existing database. They would, under database path, they would browse, they would go to the G drive over here on the left hand side, and under Our Organization Information, they would simply click on test giftworks.gds, and then they would connect to that. They would connect to that GiftWorks database file. So one user within your organization would create the database, the GiftWorks database file, and another user within your organization would simply select that existing GiftWorks database. Well, let's go back to the File Explorer if we could. I'm going right back here. Here's our File Explorer application. Let me minimize GiftWorks in the background. So we have GiftWorks here, and we have our G drive. So in this case, we've created this G drive. We created this Our Organization folder on there, and then in there we created our GiftWorks database file. And that's kind of how you'd use your G drive. Now in your H drive, this is where you're going to want to store different things. We do give you a My Documents folder. So in here you see there's a bunch of different things, different files that you can store here. You can create different folders. And you would use this, and we're going to get to importing and exporting in just a few minutes. We're going to use that to be able to store some of your own personal files that you might be wanting to use. So why don't we move on to importing and exporting, because as we talk about using the File Explorer, that's a lot of the reasons why some of you may want to use the File Explorer. You're going to want to use it to move files between your local computer and between GiftWorks Anywhere, or to move files between GiftWorks Anywhere and your local computer. Well, let's start with exporting information, because I think many of you certainly will want to be doing that, and then we'll move on to importing information. It's basically the same thing, just in reverse. So let's start with exporting. So I'm going to go into GiftWorks, and I'm going to sign into GiftWorks. Let's look at an example where we may want to export something. So I'm going to make this real easy. I'm just going to add a quick donor. This is a brand new GiftWorks database, so I'm just going to add something really fast. I just add a donor. Great, so I've added a donor to GiftWorks, and I'm going to go to my donors, and I'm going to click on, I'll go to my donors dashboard, and I'm just going to click on the All Donors Smart List, and I'm going to view it right here. Now on the left-hand side, you can simply say export this list. Now, based on what we've talked about with regards to the File Explorer and the file storage of GiftWorks Anywhere, when I click on Save to File, you'll notice back down here, I'm going to click on Change. And it's asking me where I want to store this location. So now it's showing, it's brought up the Choose Export folder. So it's asking me what folder I want to put this file into. And so I'm going to choose my H drive. Now remember, even though the local disk C and the CD-ROM drive D are here, you do not want to export files directly to here. And the reason why, and this might be slightly technical, the reason why is because when it's using these, what it's actually using is something called a virtual mapping, which means it's going all the way from the GiftWorks Anywhere servers directly down to your computer. And we don't recommend that only because depending on how big the export file is or how reliable and how quick your internet connection is, you could have different issues related to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to always export to our G or to our H drive. If you remember, the G drive is a drive letter that's shared between all the users within my organization, and the H drive is just my personal drive. So in this case, I could choose either one, but I'm going to choose my H drive and I'm going to go under My Documents and click OK. So it's going to put it on H/My Documents. And I'm just going to call this My Test Export File.xls. And I'm going to click on Finish. When I click on Finish, it says the export was successful. If I go back to my documents, you'll see that I have this My Test Export file right here. This allows me to, now I see it's on my H drive. So if I was if I was on a different location, I could simply click on the H drive, click on My Documents, and I'll see this My Test Export file. Now, in terms of exporting, that's only half the battle, because most of you, when you have the file, you're going to want to get it down to your local computer, because having it up on the GiftWorks Anywhere server is partially okay, meaning it saves a copy of the file, but you want to be able to use it on your own computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, over here now under my local disk C, now I'm going to navigate. I know who I am. I think I'm the administrator, desktop. And this is probably not the right one. Let me go right here. I think this is import, or no, sorry, I'm going to go on the other one. So I'm going to be right here under my desktop. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy it to my local computer on my desktop. And the way I'm going to do that is I see that I'm on my H drive up here, and I see the file right here under My Documents. And all I'm going to do is take the file, and I'm simply going to drag it right to my desktop. And I'm going to let it, and there we go. I'm right on my desktop, and I'm going to let it go. Now it's going to take just a moment, and let me bring this into view. Let me minimize this. You'll see that my test export file is right here on my local computer. And now I'm ready to begin to use it. So I'm going to do that again. Maybe we can even do it so you can see it. Let me just move this screen if I could a little bit. Move this right over here. So I'm going to do this again. Let me delete this file. We're going to repeat that again so you can see it. So right now you're seeing a black background, which is my desktop. But let me go back here. I'm going to drag this right back to my desktop, let it go, and you'll see in just a moment, there it appears right there. So it's copying it from the GiftWorks Anywhere server down to my desktop. So it's that easy to simply copy it from GiftWorks Anywhere server down to your desktop so that you can use it locally. You can simply do that. Now it might be a bigger file. So let me just do a bigger file right here. I'm going to drag this GiftWorks manual file. It's a little bit bigger of a PDF, and I'm going to drag it right down to my desktop. You'll see it's kind of doing a pretty typical copying little dialogue right here, and it's copying it down right now. This will take just probably a few more seconds. This is an 8 meg file. Depending on how fast your internet connection is, it'll take a different amount of time. So it's downloading right here. We're going to let this finish, and it should be done in a second. And when it's done, this little window will go away, letting me know that it's done copying. Let's let this finish. It should be done here in a second. Great. So it just finished up, and it's downloaded this GiftWorks manual, and so that's how you can download a larger file to your computer. And so In terms of transferring files, you export them from GiftWorks. So let me go back to GiftWorks. So let me just move this over here. So whether or not you're exporting from a smart list, or let's say you're doing a mailing and maybe you just want to send a mail to a donor, and I'll send Steve a quick letter. I'm going to go to my generate mailing. Oops. Let me go here, generate my mailing. I'll just let this finish up. And now if I want to save this letter, I can simply save it. And I'm just going to save it to, once again, I'm going to change this location. And I'm going to change this to my H drive. I could also save it to my G drive once again if I wanted to. And I'm just going to click on, let me actually put it in my documents again. I'm just going to call this, I'm going to click on save. Let me bring up the File Explorer so you can see this as well. So you can keep an eye on that down there. Oops, maybe you can. Won't be able to exactly. So let me just click on save. When I do that, you'll now see this letter right here to Steve Faithful was generated today. So you can see how whether it's a smart list export, a mailing letter, maybe you're going to do reports and you want to export a report. So let me just look at my donor reports. And maybe you're going to export from here. Once again, save to a file. On the left-hand side, sorry I did that a little quick. Export report, save to a file. I'm going to just call this my report, and I'll put it in my H in my documents as well. Now if I go back to my File Explorer, I'll see that I have this letter that I did a second ago and this report. I can take both of them, and I can just drag them on my desktop as well. And then on my desktop, you don't see those. There you go. You see them right there, the letter and my report. And then I can start using them on my computer. So it's that simple to export information out of GiftWorks and then get it to your local computer. Remember, you're going to be dragging and dropping it from your G or your H drive. So you'd simply click the location, and then you'd make sure that you then open up the location down here so you can see where it's going to go, the destination, and you can simply take it and drag it and let it go, and it'll copy over there. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to export. So we're using our file storage or File Explorer for GiftWorks to manage our imports and our exports. So I do want to show you our imports now. So if I wanted to get information into GiftWorks, so let's say I'm going to go over to the settings area of GiftWorks. I'm going to go to Database, Files, and Maintenance, and I'm going to go to Import and Export Data, and I'm going to say Import a File. So let's say I'm importing an Excel file, and I need to have it available. So when I click on Find Import File, you notice that it's showing me the G and the H drive. Now I should say, you're able to go down and just click on the C drive, and it'll take a little bit of time. We do recommend that before you actually import a file in, instead of getting it from your local disk or your CD-ROM, that you move it up to your G or your H drive first. That's just to avoid any problems that GiftWorks might have in going over a long distance. So I'm going to first, if I want to import an Excel file, I'm going to go find my Excel file. So let me go find it real quick. I have a whole bunch of Excel files here. I'll just use my import file. Let me find it here. There we go. I'm going to take this one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that file. I'm going to go to my File Explorer for GiftWorks. And I'm going to go now. So instead of my G or my H drive, I'm going to start up my local disk. So I'm going to go to my local drive. And I'm going to go back to my desktop, and under Import Tool, I have this little Import Tool. I have this Import Excel file right here, which I want to bring up and import into GiftWorks. So the first thing I need to do is move it from my local computer up to my G or my H drive. Now I'll move it to my G drive now, and I'm going to move this import file. I'm going to take it and drag it right into our organization information folder. So now if I click on here, I'm going to see that it's right there. So I've moved it from my local computer up to my G drive. Remember that it's on the G drive. I only did that to demonstrate you can move it to both G and H. Remember the G drive is a shared file storage location. So but now if I click on Find Import, I see under my G drive, under our organization information, I see this import file. So now I'm ready from the G drive to be able to bring it right into GiftWorks. And now to finish off this import, very simply come in. I'll do this really quick. Gives you a chance to check out our importer as well. I'm moving through it very, very quickly and doing a very simple import. Click Test Import. Great, it brought in 3 donors. Complete it. And now I'm all set. Great. Finished up. And now if I go back to my donors, I'll see that I have 3 donors in there. So that's great. So I've now, to import a file into GiftWorks, I'd simply take it from using my File Explorer for GiftWorks, take it from my local computer and on my desktop, in this case, under my import tour, and I simply take it and I drag it up to the G or the H drive so that I can then import it easily into GiftWorks Anywhere. So that's a general review on how to use the file storage for GiftWorks. As a quick summary again, you have a G and an H drive, which are your file storage locations on GiftWorks Anywhere. G is shared by the members of your organization. H is everyone has their own H drive, and those are shared. I mean, those are available only to you, so everyone will have their own H drive that they can store files in. Then you also have these, however many disks you have on your computer, or drive or storage locations you have on your computer, you're going to be able to have access to those as well. But that's primarily for the purposes of moving files between your G or your H drive and your D and your other local drives on your computer. Typically from within GiftWorks, remember, you only want to use your G or your H drive. For those of you who do have a Q drive, that is for your QuickBooks, remember that is primarily for storing your QuickBooks company file and should not be used for other file storage purposes. So just remember, if you have a Q drive, that's for your QuickBooks file, company file alone. So I hope this has been helpful in terms of how to use the file storage and also how to do some importing and exporting as it relates to using the File Explorer within GiftWorks Anywhere. If you have any concerns or questions or confusion, don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@giftworksconnect.com, and we'll be sure to help you out. So thanks for taking time to watch this video, and have a great day.